Good stuff, good stuff.
Live? Are we live?
Welcome to Capital Recovery Center. Today is another coffee and conversation. We are glad you can all join us today. We are always excited and prepared to do everything that we are going to do today. Today we will be concluding a lesson called Overcoming Drug Addiction, and it was provided by the helpguide.org website. Topics of today will be keep drug triggers and cravings in check, coping with drug cravings, and build a meaningful drug-free life. So we might get into some more of those things, but these will be the basics of our discussion today. Again, this material that we are covering called Overcoming Drug Addiction was provided from the helpguide.org website. It was an article that I read, that one of us read, and we have printed it to teach on these recordings. If you would like one of these, a copy of it, all you have to do is leave a comment in the comment section, and I can send you the link to exactly where we got the material. Again, my name is Michael. I'm one of the recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center.
All right, welcome. My name is Craig. I'm also a recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center.
Good morning. I am Karen, also a recovery coach.
All right. So, as always, if y'all would like to join us, you can click the link and you can join on the back end and participate in the discussion. We're always open to listen to, or if you have any questions, you can leave questions in the comment section and we will read your question and discuss it and answer to the best of our knowledge. What that means is don't look for us to give you an exhaustive answer. We will only give you from our own personal knowledge that we have at this present time. What we going to do? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Keep drug triggers and cravings in check. I can't even say it, so it must be kind of hard to do. Your recovery doesn't end in getting sober. Your brain still needs time to recover and rebuild connections that changed while you were addicted. During this rebuild, drug cravings can be intense. You can support your continued recovery by avoiding people, places, and situations that trigger your urge to use. This is very vital at any stage of your recovery. I say all the time that no matter what stage I'm in my recovery, I always avoid situations that might trigger my particular use. Early in my recovery, seeing someone using a drug was a trigger to make me want to go do it. So much so that if my wife and I are watching television and it comes on the screen, or we are in a movie theater, she'll literally say, "You want to leave the movie?" And I'm like, what are we just going to leave in the middle of the movie? She said, "That's more important. I'd rather leave the movie than have you sit through something that will trigger your use." So you have to do the same thing. You have to avoid people, places, and situations that may trigger you to go use again.
And for me, I'm tuned into my cravings because I haven't used a drug substance since 2001. And at first it was kind of like hard because if somebody could smoke some marijuana and they're around me, my so-called peers or friends, and then I would, at the time I didn't have the courage to say, nah, you know, I didn't want to be an oddball or cornball.
Yeah.
And so I just enjoyed right in. But now that I've been so removed from it for so long, I don't even, it's like somebody could walk down the street and be smoking, and I might say, wow, that got a really loud odor. I know they call it loud, but I don't indulge with the loud and all that stuff at all. So Yeah, so it can be challenging for those who are starting out in recovery.
That's why avoiding is very important.
Yeah.
Let's see. Step away from your friends who use. Don't hang out with friends who are still doing drugs. Surround yourself with people who support your sobriety, not those who tempt you to slide back into old destructive habits. That's one of my mottos, anywhere but backwards. Also, you have to surround your friends. I still have the same friends I grew up with, but I had a strategy, or I created a strategy that I called and coined my own turf. And what that means is I'm willing to be with you or be around you. However, it will only be on my turf, where I'm comfortable. I will never put myself in a situation where I'm surrounded around people who are currently using. And you got to do the same thing, because you got to remember you're going to have triggers and cravings. You just need to stay away from your friends who are using and surround yourself with people who support your sobriety. Always try to group yourself with individuals who are going in the same direction that you are striving to go in. This is in every area of your life. You should always have that same type of mindset, I believe.
Good stuff, Mike. Good stuff.
Good. Somebody want to take the next one?
All right. Avoid bars and clubs. Even if you don't have a problem with alcohol, drinking lowers inhibition and impairs judgment, which can easily lead to a relapse. Drugs are often readily available, and the temptation to use can be overpowering. Also, avoid any other environment and situation that you associate with drug use. And for me, myself, I remember when I was incarcerated and me and the guy used to be talking, and the bar scene was so prevalent. This is during the 90s or early 2000s, when you used to hear so much about this club, that club. And so me and the guy, we used to be talking, and we say, you know what, if I don't want to come back to the prison or incarceration, these things I'm going to have to avoid. Bars and clubs, because not only that they serve alcohol, we know drugs are going to be there, but also other activities are going to be going on. They're going to be gambling, or shooting can break out, anything like that, anything that can trigger you up or trip you up. So be mindful of a lot of these things as well. So I just want to share that little tidbit.
I like what you said here. It says avoid bars and clubs. Then right after it says, even if you don't have a problem with alcohol, because that goes back to what we were teaching, I believe Thursday, where we have relapse justification. Well, I don't have an alcohol problem, so I can go. You need to avoid those things because they are what's known as gateway drugs. Even though you might not have a problem with alcohol, it's a very high percentage of the times that if you start indulging in drinking alcohol, it will lead back to the thing that you truly love to do.
All right, you want me to read another one?
It's up to y'all.
All right, I'll read another one, and I ain't gonna hog everything up. It says, be upfront about your history of drug use when seeking medical treatment.
Stop. I gotta stop.
All right.
I gotta pull over, pause, and park.
All right.
This is a famous thing that happened in my life. I had surgery on my Achilles tendon. I was early in, this wasn't this time. I was early in just getting clean. Yeah. And actually it was right after the period of me using the Suboxones to get off of heroin. And I had Achilles tendon surgery. I came out, the doctor, you come out under the anesthesia or whatever, the doctor prescribed this narcotic medication. But my wife had told me, you don't need no narcotic medication. So the doctor gave me a script. I said, it's on. I was like, I got a legal reason to use these drugs. So my wife said, Doc, let me see that script. She seen the script and said, Doc, he can't have this. And she said, why? I said, he has a drug problem. You cannot give him that medication. I was hot. I was upset. Like, what are you doing? I just had a legal reason for probation and everything. I can use these drugs. But you have to be upfront about your history of drug use when you're seeking medical treatment. And I wasn't, if you're at that stage I was, and you're not at the level to be honest about your history of drug use. Prayerfully, you have somebody next to you. Remember, we just was reading about surround yourself with people who support you. So prayerfully, you have someone around you who's able to intercede like my wife did and say, listen, he has a drug problem. Because I wasn't strong enough to do that at that time. And maybe you're not strong enough to do that at that time right now. So hopefully you have someone in your support system that will step up for you at those times. And more importantly, give them the authority to be able to do it in those particular situations.
That's good, Mike. You talked about having the strength and the power, or just having somebody there with you. That's very important, because a lot of times we as addicts or recovering addicts, we our distorted mind of being manipulative, we can make up all types of stuff. You use the word justification.
Yeah.
You know, that's the trickery of the brain. So that's a good point. Yes.
I'm sorry, I want to say something. You know, and being on the other side, if you give that empowerment or that, you know, that right, or, you know, like that reliability on a person, it makes that person feel good too.
Yeah.
So, and it feels like you're contributing to the person's recovery.
Yeah. That's right.
That's good, because you need somebody. Everybody has different stages, and you are at different places. Like I said, I was not going to tell that doctor that I had a drug problem. I was not telling him. I literally, when he said, I'm giving you Oxycontin high, I was like, yeah, my leg. You know, I was locked. But my wife was there to be intercede, and other people, like you said, it makes them feel good. Like, I'm glad I'm able to do this for you, because, you know, I'm participating in the process of your recovery, which is always awesome.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, good stuff. And it goes on to say, if you need a medical or dental procedure done, be upfront, like Mike, well, like his wife was upfront.
He said, he was about to say like I was, but like the person who he was with.
And support network. Well, and find a provider who will work with you in either prescribing alternatives or the absolute minimum medication necessary.
All right, I'm gonna jump in again, Mr. Dingle.
Come on.
When he says, when I said that I couldn't take the narcotic medication, I did not know, literally, I did not understand that it was non-narcotic pain medication. Because that's exactly what my wife told him, and I just had the luck of the draw to have a nurse as a wife. She says, no, you can get non-narcotic pain medication. And I said, there's no such thing. And the doctor said, I'm writing you the script for it now. And you see when he just read, it says, either prescribe alternatives. You can get an alternative to the pain medication. A lot of people are under the impression that they have to get a narcotic pain medication. No, you don't. If you have a history of substance use disorder, you can ask for a non-narcotic pain medication. So a lot of times when the doctors get the flack for people being addicted to a narcotic, I always ask myself, I wonder if the individual asked or requested, because of course the doctor's going to give you a particular medication. However, you do have the right to say, can I have an alternative to that? I have a substance use disorder. Even if you don't want to tell them you have a substance use disorder, you can still request to have an alternative to that narcotic medication and take the non-narcotic medication. I was so curious about this medication that I was asking the doctor, how does this medication work? It's not a narcotic. What does it do? He said, this medication is a medication that when you take it, it tricks your brain and makes your brain think you're not in pain. And I said, wow. So it just basically, you hurting, but your brain like not registering, you're not hurting. I said, man, why they give out so much narcotic? But that's a long story. But also, I'm just bringing up, you can ask for an alternative. You can ask for an alternative.
or the absolute minimum medication necessary.
Minimal.
All right, it says, you should never feel ashamed or humiliated about previous drug use or be denied medication for pain. If that happens, find another provider.
Period. You should never ever feel ashamed or humiliated about your previous drug use. Learn how to use your past or previous drug use to push you ahead. You might feel guilt and shame in other areas, but never when you seeking medical treatment for something feel ashamed to express that you have a previous drug history.
And the last one to this topic, it says, use caution with prescription drugs. If you were addicted to a prescription drug, such as an opiate painkiller, you may need to talk to your doctor about finding alternative ways to manage pain. Regardless of the drugs you experience problems with, it's important to stay away from prescription drugs with the potential for abuse or use only when necessary and with extreme caution. Drugs with a high abuse potential include painkillers, sleeping pills, and anti-anxiety medication. Even if you may say to yourself, well, you know, I sniff heroin, let's say heroin, and I never was a pill-taking type person. It all flows in the same thing. Opioids is an opioid, all right? And so be mindful of that. Don't let your mind tell you, you know, I just sniff, so pills ain't gonna be less effect. Nah, we talking about addiction. We talking about overcoming drug addiction. All right?
Keep drug triggers and cravings in check. That's what we just went over. And they are, it's always important. Here at Capital Recovery Center, we always try to get the recoveries and help them develop some type of coping skills so they can be able to know how to execute or develop a plan to help keep them triggers and cravings in check. Don't let it be a shock to you that you have cravings and be triggered to sometimes do things. That is something that happens to everybody who struggles with a substance use disorder. I know you probably think you're unique in that sense, but you know, it happens to everybody that struggles with a substance use disorder. So we just talked about keeping drug triggers and cravings in check. And now we're going to go into coping with drug cravings.
All right, let someone else read.
Go ahead, Ms. Karen, you can go.
Sometimes craving cannot be avoided, and it is necessary to find a way to cope. Get involved in a distracting activity. Read, see friends, go to movies, immerse yourself in a hobby like hike or exercise. Once you're interested in something else, you'll find the urges go away.
Get involved in a distracting activity. You having a craving for something. If I'm having a craving for something or I'm having a thought about something, I call one of my friends and I might not talk about the craving. I might talk about sports. This is literally a strategy that I have used for the last 13 years. If I have some type of thought or craving about something that I know it's not good for me, I will call someone and I will talk to someone, and I, not all the time, talk about what I'm having a craving for. I might just talk about something else, and the purpose of me doing that is so I can distract the craving. I'm so in tune with what thoughts is going on in my mind or cravings I have for certain things. So you just have to find something that distracts your craving at that moment.
And I just want to share this tidbit. I was in a therapeutic community program, and I was talking to the supervisor, and he was also in recovery at the same time. And he said, if you notice, most people in recovery always doing something. We're always busy. Because we know that if we allow boredom to set in, then our mind began to reverse or begin to think about things that will lead to unhealthy behavior. So, like the article says, find something to do. Stay active. Something constructive. Not something destructive. All right?
Next it says talk it through. Talk to friends or family members about cravings when it occurs. Talking can be very helpful in pinpointing the source of the craving. Also, talking about craving often helps to discharge and relieve the feeling and will help restore honesty in your relationship. Craving is nothing to feel bad about.
At all. A lot of times, talking to family or family members about craving when it occurs, talking can be very helpful and pinpoint the source of the craving. Oftentimes, if you keep it to yourself, you will eventually allow that thought to take seed, and then it'll start to grow, and then you carry out the action of the craving. And it's very vital that you tell someone or talk to someone. I went through a sickness a few months ago, and the sickness reminded me of a sickness that I had, the withdrawal I used to have with heroin. But instead of me sitting there saying, man, this thing feels just like when I was when I was sick with heroin, in my head, I immediately said, hey, babe, this thing is making me think about boom, boom, boom. She got up and started praying and everything. So anyway, she was like, oh, no, we is not going back to that. But I didn't just keep it to myself. I talked to someone. And that's the same thing you have to do. You have to talk it through. If you're having cravings, don't just sit there. You have to talk it through. And us being recovery coaches, you can call us. You have our numbers. You can reach out to us and you can talk to us. That's why we are here. That's why we do this job. So we want to be there for you to help you talk it through. So if you're having these different cravings, you have to talk it through.
Challenge and change your thoughts. When experiencing a craving, many people have a tendency to remember only the positive effects of the drug and forget the negative consequences. Therefore, you may find it helpful to remind yourself that you really won't feel better if you use, and that you stand to lose a lot. Sometimes it is helpful to have these consequences listed on a small card that you keep with you.
That is so important. I always tell people all the time, I say, listen, keep the consequence in the forefront of your mind. One of my brothers, my pastor friend of mine, he was speaking last week or so, and he made the statement, I can go use again, I just can't handle the consequence that comes from using. I said, man, that's so important. Because a lot of times people have the good time at the forefront of their head. They never have the consequence. But this is saying, keep the consequences listed in the front. So you know that if you do this, this is coming right down the pipe eventually. And it won't take long. So you got to always keep that in the forefront. Don't remember or don't fall for the trick. Oh, we had a good time. We had a good time, but.
That's right. And I tell guys, I used to facilitate a group called Thinking for a Change. And I just used a simple illustration. I was telling guys, I said, you know what, you can have all these good things, five positive things on one hand, but it only takes one time for you to relapse that you can lose everything.
One.
You can have a car, you can have a job, relationship, you know, you can have money in the bank, all these good things, but it don't take but one time for you to lose everything. So, you know, I just tell them to weigh the odds, you know, whether you want to hold on to what you already made strides towards, or you want to take that risk. So let's think positive, you know, so we're talking about positive reinforcement. So think about these things, please.
And if remember, if you have already or you are currently in a relapse state and you need to just get up. Right now, you need to just get back on your feet, connect to somebody that can help you get into a facility like us. You can call us 856-391-7449. You can reach out to us anytime and we can help you get into some type of treatment. Don't beat yourself up so bad and think that just because you may have relapsed or gave into a craving or was triggered to do something, it's time for you to get back up. You still have hope. If you're hearing us right now, then you have hope. That means that you hear us, then you understand that the possibility is still available for you to experience the sobriety that you probably just gave up due to a craving that you had.
You see, now I'm drinking water now. I'm not drinking alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
I feel good about this. I mean, think about it. Drink some water. I just put that in there. But yeah, but think healthy because you're going to get healthy results.
It's all in the thinking.
That's right.
All right, build a meaningful. You want to read? Keep reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Build a meaningful, drug-free life. You can support your drug treatment and protect yourself from relapse by having activities and interests that provide meaning to your life. It's important to be involved in things that you enjoy, that make you feel needed, and add meaning to your life. When your life is filled with rewarding activities and a sense of purpose, your addiction will lose its appeal.
Oh, that is so good. This is just this is a tweet. Listen, when your life is filled with rewarding activities and a sense of purpose, your addiction will lose its appeal. That means that your life is so full of what you enjoy, using drugs is not even attractive to you. You don't even, like, is you kidding me? Like, it loses its appeal when your life is filled in a rewarding way of things that you enjoy. I love sports. I love the gym. I love all that stuff. When the weather is nice, I like to go to the basketball court. And you know, when I want to go to the gym, I can just go in my basement and go to the gym. Things that I enjoy is so rewarding that I know with the consequence in the front of my mind that if I use again all that stuff, it's going to eventually go away. So you have to do the same thing. Find something that's so meaningful to you where your substance abuse, your substance use becomes less attractive. You just look at it totally different, like, nah, there's no way I can do that.
And just think about it. Let's be real. When we was using, we would broke, busted, and disgusted, having, grown, taking care of ourselves and things of that nature. And so now that we've got ourselves together, we wake up in the morning, hopefully, you're taking care of yourself, you're dressing good. We had a thing we used to say, a like minds attract a like minds. Yeah. And so that means, what that entails is that when you got yourself together, you put on some nice fragrance and you clean clothes, you're going to be attracted to that which, the same, someone who's, took care of themselves, smelling good and looking good. And so when you see something that's opposite, you want to pull them up. Not to say that you're better than somebody, just want to pull them up and give them some good advice and be an encouragement to somebody, all right?
It's always good to encourage other people on your way or in the process of your sobriety.
Pick up an old hobby or try a new one. Do things that challenge your creativity and spark your imagination. Something you've always wanted to try. Learn a musical instrument, a foreign language, or try a new sport.
A foreign language.
Or just be gifted like her. She's talented in so many areas. So I thank God that we have her on board with us to do what we're doing, because I always, when I pray about stuff, I always pray, well, what am I going to do with this? And it's like, ask her. Like, that's it. Like, I supplied you with everything that you need, and you just need to ask. And that's good that people, you have to understand in your sobriety, the same thing. You just need to ask individuals if you have hobbies. It says she just read old hobbies that you probably put down due to your substance use disorder. Pick up the old hobby or start a new hobby. But nonetheless, find something else to do, because you can't just sit idle. You have to find something to do. And if you're not sure what to do, just like I just said, just ask. Ask some people, can I join you on this opportunity? Can I join you over here? Just ask.
Especially for the older people. Surround yourself with some young, bright minds.
Yeah.
I noticed I've been on, I was at a previous job, I was surrounded with a young, bright mind, and when I ran into a computer glitch, I said, hey,
I don't even worry about it.
I need some help. Today, when I, here at this job with Karen around, I run into a computer glitch. with her young, bright mind.
I just run down the hall.
Hey.
Or yell. It doesn't matter.
I mean, just burn some good support.
And I mean, likewise, surround yourself with people like them because they will definitely lift up your spirit.
Let's go. Go ahead.
Adopt a pet.
Mm.
Yes, pets are a responsibility, but caring for an animal makes you feel loved and needed.
Mm.
Pets can also get you out of the house for exercise.
Wow.
Spend time in nature. Take a scenic hike, go fishing or camping, or enjoy regular walks in a park. Enjoy the arts. Visit a museum, go to a concert or a play, take an art class, or write a memoir.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Get involved in your community. Replace your addiction with drug-free groups and activities. Volunteer, become active in your church or faith community, or join a local club or neighborhood group. Set meaningful goals. Having goals to work toward and something to look forward to can be powerful antidotes to drug addiction. It doesn't matter what the goals are, just that they are important to you. And look after your health. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, and healthy eating habits help you keep your energy levels up and your stress levels down. The more you can stay healthy and feel good, the easier it will be to stay sober.
Good stuff. All those things was good. And let's read this part right here. It says, don't let relapse keep you down. Relapse is a common part of the recovery process from substance use disorder. While relapse is frustrating and discouraging, it can be an opportunity to learn from your mistakes, identify additional triggers, and correct your treatment course. And that's very important because I always say, when I've known when I made it in my sobriety or in my life of struggling with substance use disorder is when I was able to learn from my mistakes. I use the phrase, your mistakes have to become your mentors. They say, Mike, how did you learn this? I'll tell them about a mistake. And actually in one of my books, I said my qualification is failure after failure after failure after failure. And I remember one of the prosecutors said, I never seen nobody put failures as a qualification. And I said, my failure taught me what will work and what won't work and what I could do and what I shouldn't do. So learn from your mistakes. Don't let relapse get you down, please. And what we got? Any more announcements?
We got Roe, right?
We got Roe for tomorrow.
Yep, Recovery on Wheels will be out tomorrow, starting from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon at Wendy's.
And we will be having a recovery spotlight. We will be spotlighting someone in recovery, even if they're not a part of Capital Recovery Center. We will be promoting the link and showing you if you have a recovery success story. We're going to be spotlighting someone every month. Hopefully we'll get the first one out this Friday. And every month you'll be able to sign up if you would like to recommend someone. They will have to fill out the information, or you yourself can fill it out. But we want to spotlight you because we know how important it is for you to obtain and maintain your sobriety. So be looking out for that. I'll put the link in the comment section, or I'll also put it on our Facebook page.
And also this Thursday we have our all recovery meeting. We start from 1 to 2 p.m. Please join us, and we're gonna have some good conversation. And join in. If you have anything that you would like to share, please feel free.
Thank y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We see y'all Thursday at 1 p.m.
All right.
All right. Good stuff.